This conference will now be recorded.
Before we step into the next topics that we'll be discussing, anyone has any doubts with respect to yesterday's session? Anyone has any doubts with respect to yesterday's session?
Hello, good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening, Alam.
Sir, today I am the first. I have the
Yeah.
first class, sir.
Okay, no worries. Just go through the yesterday's recording to just see the overview of the course that how we are dealing with it so that it will be very useful. And if time permits at the end of the class, I might revisit the topics that we are covering in a brief. Okay,
Okay, sir.
thanks. Okay, let's get started for the day. Is my screen visible, everyone?
Yes. Yes.
So before we jump into the other topics, so let me list down the tools that are essential, that are required for automation testing. First is JDK 21, second is IntelliJ latest version, third thing is what? Third thing is Eclipse, because some of them are comfortable at Eclipse in their company, so we will also be just giving an overview of how to use the same project in Eclipse. Fourth thing is Git Bash. Fifth thing is Apache Maven. And sixth thing is SMS for Windows. For Apple or Linux, please download SQL Server, SQL Workbench. Clear? Then seventh is Mongo Compass. Okay, these are some softwares that we need to download it. Okay, these are the software that we'll be using in our project. Clear? Any doubts so far? Yes. So, how do we download these softwares? How do we download this software? First, what we need to do, JDK21 download. So search for JDK21 download, Java SC Archive 21 downloads. Okay. So it is giving us a warning here. If you see here, older versions of JDK are provided to help developers debug issues in their older systems. They're not updated with the latest security patches or not recommended for use in production. So this is a default warning that it is giving to everyone for the people who are using JDK older versions like JDK 8 or JDK 7 like that. So if you see this Java SE Development Kit 21.0.22, here we need to see the software that needs to be downloaded based on the operating system. If you're a Linux operating system person, please download the software as per your Linux system requirements. If you're a Mac person, please select the download link as per your requirements. And if you're a Windows user, definitely your system should have a 64-bit configuration. So what are the system configuration required for automation? System configuration required for automation. Minimum 8 GB RAM, minimum 256 GB SSD, i5 processor, advisable, adjustable. Got it? These are the three minimum configurations that we require for a system. And fourth thing, it should be a 64-bit. Your systems needs to be 64-bit. These are your default system configurations that we need to have in your laptop. Clear everyone? I hope you got the fundamentals of what are the operating systems that we need to have.
Yes.
Okay, these are the list of things that we need to have in your system. Now coming to this, uh, we need to in my system it is 64-bit installer. So if I click on this link, it will be automatically downloaded. If you see here, if I click on this link, it will be automatic. So prior to that, I have to remove all the softwares in my system because everything is already installed in my system. So let me uninstall all the softwares so that you'll understand what is
Should
what.
we also download simultaneously?
Uh, Preeti, yes, you can download it simultaneously, but just try to stay within the class because this installation is something I'm very much keen on it. If you miss any step, then the whole project will be in chaos.
Okay.
And for the people who asked me the download link for JDK 21, yes, I've given you the link. Please download it as per your operating system. So what I'm doing, I'm uninstalling all the JDK's versions. Okay, I'm installing all the software that has been installed in my system so that it will be pretty easy for you to understand how I'll be installing it. So I'll be sharing the download links in the group as and when. Just bear with me for a while. I'm just uninstalling all the softwares in my system so that you will see what is what. So in the meanwhile, uninstallations are happening. Now the next link is how do we download IntelliJ? Okay. When you go for IntelliJ, when you search for download IntelliJ, so what will happen? You'll be having three tabs like this: Windows, Mac, Linux. These are some options that we have. So when I say IntelliJ IDEA Ultimate, that means it is a paid version of IntelliJ. This is not something we require to it. If by mistake, if you download this Ultimate Edition, you will have a free trial of 30 days followed by you'll have to pay for it. So instead of using IntelliJ IDEA Ultimate, I want all of you to download IntelliJ IDEA Community Edition. Okay, I'll be sharing the download link in the group. So based on our operating system, you please download the IntelliJ. So since I'm working in a Windows laptop, what I've done, I've choose my option as Windows. If you're a Mac user, choose Mac. If you're a Linux user, choose a Linux. So since mine is a Windows, I will be downloading the file. It will start downloading the file automatically. I need not download the file again in my systems, but just for the demonstration sake, I'm downloading and showing it to you what is what. Then we need to download Git Bash. Okay, I'll be downloading Git. If you're a Mac user, go to your Mac operating system. You can install the Git using the brew install Git. There's a homebrew installer in Mac. With the help of that, you can install the Git. If you don't know how to install homebrew, you can click on this link. Okay, when you click on this link, you see this is the curl command used to install the homebrew in your system. Once the homebrew installation is done, then we can run this command brew install git to install git bash in your system. By default, ideally the git will be installed in your system, but we need to check whether it is installed or not. So go by this procedure. So when you say brew install git, or if it is already installed, it will not install it again. Got it? Got it, everyone, for the Mac users? If you are a Windows user, you can directly click on download for Windows and it will ask you whether it is 64-bit or 32-bit. So in a standalone installer, I will go for 64-bit Git. Okay. Then I have to download SSMS download. So I'll be also giving the link for Git. Next thing is SSMS download. So click on this link. And if you come down here, you'll be seeing an option of download SQL Server Management Studio 20.1. Okay. So I copy this link and I paste it here. Okay. This is how we download SSMS. Then followed by Apache Maven. So download Apache Maven. If you come here, you will have the link to download the file. So always take always take binary zip archive. Okay. Any operating system, you can take binary zip archive. So I click on this to download it. Then followed by Eclipse download. I've been pasting all the download links in the chat window. Just have a look at it. So when I click on Eclipse downloads, okay, you click on download packages. Okay, if you see download packages, you'll be showing the latest version, that is 2024-06R. So always download Eclipse IDE for enterprise Java and web developers. If you are a Mac operating system, please choose the operating system of Mac. If you are a Windows, click on this link to download. So if you click on download, automatically the Eclipse will be downloaded in your system. Okay, clear everyone?
Yes.
Any doubts so far?
No.
Maven once, Nityanand, I have shared the download URL in the chat window. You can go there and click on binary zip archive. Clear, Nityanand?
Okay. Yes, yes. Thank you.
Yes. So I have downloaded almost all the softwares. Okay, everything is almost downloaded and ready and set up in my laptop. Eclipse is taking some time for it to download. Meanwhile, let us go to the downloads. Okay, now I have JDK ready with me. So what I will do? So I open this .exe file. There will be a pop-up coming up. Do you want to allow this app to make changes to your device? If you might not see in your screenshot, you might not see this pop-up in the screen sharing, but there'll be a pop-up coming. Do you want to allow this app to make changes to your device? Click on yes. Like this kind of a screenshot will come. Okay, and paste the screenshot, sorry. So This kind of installation wizard setup will be opened up. Then you click on next, next. So it will take less than a minute to install the Java in your systems. Clear? Is this clear so far? How do we?
Yes, clear.
We are using Musharraf, we are using IntelliJ in our course. If you want Eclipse, we can also deal with Eclipse also. The same editors. I mean, both are same, but the difference is in the plugins. Okay. Snehal, if you have not started downloading, that is not a problem. After the class, you can see how do we download and stuff. Okay. So I click on close. Then I have installed JDK. If you want to know JDK is installed properly or not, search for the command prompt. Type Java-version. If you type Java-version, it will show you what is the exact JDK installed in your system. If the Java is not installed properly, it will not show this output. Clear? This is the command we need to run to check whether Java is installed properly or not. Now that is the first step. Now the second step is I'll install IntelliJ. Any doubts in installations, please let me know so that it'll be very easy for us to continue in the next set of classes, because this is the most critical part. This is where we can face some challenges. So there'll be a pop-up coming. Do you want to allow this app to make changes to your device? Click on yes. So you click on next. You click on next. So create a desktop shortcut called as IntelliJ IDEA Edition, Community Edition. If we want to create associations, you can select .java. That is fine. Then you click on next. Then you click on install. It will install all the default plugins and install the software in your system. IntelliJ is a sort of a big software to install. It will take some time. Okay. Is it clear, everyone?
Yes.
Okay. Then I click on finish. Now the IntelliJ is already set up in your systems. Okay. Clear? Clear, everyone?
Yes.
Okay. Then we'll install SSMS. So I click on install. There'll be a pop-up coming up. Do you want to allow this app to make changes to your device? Just click on yes. So it'll take some time for us to install the tools. So the SSMS setup and installation is completed. Okay. Now, before you install Git, there's a small thing that I need to do, because when I uninstall Git, in my C drive, there will be a Git folder already, a temp Git folder that will be already present. I have to remove this temp Git folder. Like when you are installing the Git again for the second time, this will be the issue. For the first time, this won't be any issue. So I select Git. So there's some pop-up coming up, just click on yes. So I click on next, next. So blindly click next, 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 next. Yeah. So it is asking us which I should use this Vim as the default Git editor. That's up to you. Like I prefer you to put the default options. Okay. Let Git decide to use this default master branch. Yeah. It is saying that by default my default branch name would be master. So if you want to override that name, you can do it, but I suggest you not to do that. Use Git from command line, also from third-party software. If you enable this only, we can run any sort of Git commands using the command line or any editor terminals. Use bundled OpenSSH. Just blindly click on next, next. That shouldn't be a problem. We are just going with the default settings. Clear? Is this clear, everyone?
Yes.
Uh, there's no sequence of installations, Rishali. And if you, Jaya, if you ask me to share the entire document of how to download and set up, this recorded session would be of a great help, because I've already mentioned in a note. If you want, I can share this Word file of what are the softwares that you need to download, and you can see the recording of how do you install it. Clear, Jaya? So, why click on finish? The kit is already installed. So, this Apache Maven and all the stuff, there's no need to install anything. Just a moment, I'll pull this to my softwares folder. Okay. Now we have all installed JDK. So when you install JDK, where the JDK will be present? C, program files, Java, JDK 21. Okay. This is where your file is present. So I have to put this bin path at the environment variables level. So how do you open environment variables? So I go to control panel home. I search for environment variables. Edit the system environment variables. So I click on environment variables. So we need to have Java home in our system, that is JDK21. We need to create a property called as Java21. If you don't know how to create a Java21, just click on new, type your variable name as Java_home and put your JDK path where it is actually present. Okay. For
Why are you doing
suppose
this step?
we need to set this path because whenever you're running the code from the command line or anything from your Jenkins, how does it refer where are your exact Java libraries are present? With the help of this paths only it will understand, okay, this is the location where my Java libraries are present. Okay. So when I click on new, you need to set your Java_home path. Here you should not put your folder path till bin. You should put your folder till the JDK path. Once that is done, go to your path. Here if you come, you need to put the bin path. I'll delete all the existing ones. That would be great. So here what we need to do, I click on new, then I copy paste my bin path. Clear? So this is how I add a path to my bin, how I add my bin path, how I do my Java home here. Okay. Oh, okay. And also we need to set the path of the Apache Maven. We have downloaded Apache Maven, right? So we need to set the path of Apache Maven also. So where is
Is
this
it fine
Apache
if
Maven?
we are using JDK22?
JDK22 doesn't work for CI/CD. That is the thing I'm going for JDK21.
Okay.
Okay. That is the reason I'm taking JDK21. Whoever asked me. So I have to take this bin path of Apache Maven and add it in the control panel. Add it in the environment variables. Sorry. Go to environment variables. So come here down. You click on new. I will add this bin path of where my Apache Maven is present. And I click on OK. Clear? Clear everyone of how I have installed the software?
Yes.
Rahul,
So yeah, Rekha.
Java home, Maven home is not required, like path in the environment
No
variable.
need, not needed, not needed. Java home is why I'm putting is that whenever you're running the pipeline, that it searches for a property called as Java home. That is why we are doing this.
Okay.
Yeah, Divya, go ahead. Divya, are you there? Any question you have? Okay. So this is how we install the software. And last but not the least, that is Eclipse. Eclipse is a plug and play software, guys. You need not download or install anything. This is my Eclipse. So what I will do, I will extract the file. So this Eclipse unzipping will take some time. It'll take around 14-15 minutes. But I'll show you how to open your eclipse.exe file. So I have a previous version of exe file. So when you go to Eclipse folder inside, you will be finding this folder called as only Eclipse, and you click on this exe file so that it will open the exe. It will open the Eclipse editor. Clear, everyone? Ideally, Eclipse will take a lot of time to unzip it, but don't worry, it will happen at its right pace. Clear? Clear so far? What are the softwares we need to download? How do we install them?
Yes.
And last but not the least, Mongo Compass. So take the stable version 1.43 and all. If you're a Mac user, just change it as per your operating system. Download. Okay, it will take some time for us to download. And for the Apple users who want to work with SQL Workbench, okay, MySQL Workbench, SQL Workbench download. So download MySQL Workbench. Here it is showing me for Microsoft Windows. By default, it can be Red Hat, Mac OS, source code, that is as per your operating system. You can select it and download it. Clear? Okay. As per the operating system, you can click on this and you can download the SQL Workbench. Why I am preferring SSMS over other database tools is because when your applications go to the production, mainly they'll go for this Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio because it is so much secure. The data integrity is not lost. There's a lot of protection layers applied for SSMS. That is the reason we are going with SSMS as my preferred tool. However, in Apple and Linux, SSMS is not supported. So that is the reason we are going with Workbench for those people. Clear, everyone? So once my Mongo Compass is done, let me check my control panel.
Hi
Have I?
Rahul, Ankita this side.
Yeah, tell me.
Hello. Yeah,
Yeah, tell me.
Rahul just got confused. For this MongoDB
Yeah, tell me. For this MongoDB.
Compass download GUI.
Ankita, your voice is breaking. Okay. Ankita, if
Am I
you're
audible?
your voice is still breaking. If you're not in a position to talk, just type it in the chat window. That works fine.
Oh,
Rahul, I
So
think your voice is a little feeble. Can you closer
now
to
it
the
is
mic?
better.
Yeah, it's better. Thank you.
Yeah. So let me install this Mongo Compass. So this is a plug and play tool. It doesn't require any installations. Download it. Just set up it. You see how it's opening up.
Rahul, Ankita asked which one we should download, and even I got
Mongo,
confused on that.
yeah, MongoDB GUI, not the shell version. I'll show you. If you see here, Here it is highlighted as MongoDB Compass GUI, right? So select this option. If you go here, if you scroll down, you'll be seeing the latest stable version and select your operating system and download the tool. Okay.
Okay, I downloaded the other one. I'll remove that and redownload.
Yeah. Okay. So that is the thing, guys. I have shown you how to download and install all the softwares related to our project. Okay. So let me discuss about some facts about Selenium family. Okay. So let me discuss some facts about Selenium family. The first tool from Selenium family is Selenium IDE, which is a record and playback tool. It is invented in the year 2004 by Jason Higgins, an employee at ThoughtWorks. Okay, an employee at ThoughtWorks. Why this person has invented this tool is because those days we only used to have this QTP or UFT tool for automation testing, and it is a paid tool. That's not an open source or a free tool. So since they cannot afford that much of a cost for an automation tool, he has invented this tool called as Selenium IDE. It is a record and playback tool. Zero coding knowledge required. Okay. Basic idea of HTML is good to have. That is the purpose of the Selenium IDE. It supports Chrome and Firefox browsers. Clear? Is this point clear so far about the Selenium IDE? So Selenium IDE is not used in real time, but in the interview they might ask you what are the different tools present in the Selenium family and all. For that reason, I'm discussing the first point. So how do we install Selenium IDE in your browsers? Because Selenium IDE is an extension to your browser. Now what we will do, Selenium IDE for Chrome. Okay, if you search for Selenium IDE for Chrome, go to the Chrome web store. So already my tool has been added to the Chrome. Now I'll remove from the Chrome and add them again. So adding an extension to the browser doesn't take much of your time. It's a very simple process. So once I've added the extension, go here, click on Selenium IDE. When you open the Selenium IDE for the first time, you will see the pop-up like this. Record a new test in a new project, open an existing project, create a new project, and close Selenium IDE. So what do? We click on record a new test in a new project. So what is the project name you want to put? Sample recording. You can put whatever name you want. And I click on OK. So for which application you want to do the recording. Okay. You have to mention the application URL for which you want to do the recording. So I click on start recording. When I click on start recording, I can click on the screen. I can go to scorecard. I can go to points table. I can go to stats. I can go to news and I can go to home. This is a sample flow that I wanted to record it. Once the recording is completed, then I'll click on the stop button to stop the recording. Then what I will do, I will say first test case. First test case will be the name of my test case. Then I click on OK. So once I click on OK, so what will happen? Whatever the flow you want to record, it will be recorded like this. Open, set window size, mouse over, click, all the different set of commands, whatever you want, it will be recorded here. Okay. Now, if you want to play back the same scenario, click on this play button so that it will run the same scenario again. This is a simple record and playback tool where you're not performing any sort of validations here. Here, with this Selenium IDE tool, it's just a simple record and playback tool. No coding knowledge required, basic idea of HTML is essential, and that's it. If you want to reduce the speed of the execution, yes, you can play around and reduce the speed of the execution and run the code again.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it may be from my end only, but there's just some skill lagging because like your voice is coming clearly, but the screen coming like
Why the
breaking.
screen is very slow is it is executing in a very slow manner, Narendra.
Okay.
When I'm working with Selenium IDE, what I have 10 minutes, I have reduced the speed of the execution. That is why you see like there's some hanging in the screen. Okay.
Okay.
Now this is how we do a sample record and playback. So what are the disadvantages of using Selenium IDE? One, we cannot perform any sort of validations. We cannot modify the recorded script as per our needs. Okay, it is slower compared to Selenium RC and Selenium WebDriver. Got it? Got it, everyone?
Yes.
Third thing is it is used for prototyping only. What do you mean by prototyping? Whenever you want to demonstrate to a customer about your product, so ideally you can use this Selenium IDE for prototyping, like demonstration's sake, or to show that how the flow of the application is going by clicking on a play button. In that situation only, it is pretty much useful. Selenium IDE. Okay, clear everyone? This is a very generic question that you'll be asked in any interviews when you're attempting when you're making a switch towards automation, because why they ask you about Selenium architecture is because when you don't know how the tool has evolved, what can you how well you can enhance yourself is always the question. Clear everyone? What is Selenium in the Selenium family? What is the first tool? Selenium
Yes.
IDE. Simple record and playback tool. Apart from that, there's nothing else. Then on top of all this, then comes a tool called as Selenium RC. Here, RC stands for remote control. Okay, it has been invented by a Japanese person in the year 2006. Okay, to avoid all the issues that is present that was present in Selenium IDE. Till 2018, yes, that means JavaScript was the language supported to prepare the scripts. From 2018 onwards, it is providing support to multiple programming languages. Clear? Clear so far? Clear, Snehal,
Yes.
Nityanand, Preeti? Yeah. So let me let me show you the architecture of Selenium RC. So this is the architecture of Selenium RC. Okay, what this is Selenium RC states, whatever the code you have written here, the code will be moved to a server called as remote control server. So this Selenium remote control server acts as a mediator between your browser and your code. Let me mention this point here. The Selenium RC acts as a mediator between your code and the browsers. Okay, so what will happen? Whatever the code we have written, what does this mediator do? It will be converted into the JavaScript and it will be injected into the form of Selenium core onto the browsers. So what is happening? Selenium RC converts the whole code into a JavaScript format that is executable onto the browser. So once the whole conversion of code is happened, then it will inject Selenium core into each and every browser that we are running. Okay, it will inject Selenium core onto each and every browser that we are running. Okay, clear everyone? So what is the Selenium core all about? Selenium core is a set of JavaScript commands, JS commands that are running onto the browser. Which is being sent by Selenium RC. This is the whole process of Selenium RC. So what are the disadvantages of using Selenium RC? One is architecture is bit complex to understand. Second thing is does not support API and headless testing. Yeah, creates a lot of burden onto the browser, which reduces the speed of the execution. How it reduces the speed of the execution? For a browser, whenever you have a browser, what will happen means whenever you're trying to insert more and more JavaScript commands onto the browser, what will happen means it gradually reduces the speed of the application. It reduces the speed of the execution. So that is the reason why this has been an issue. The main issue with Selenium RC is this. Okay, the whole issue lies with Selenium core because when you are executing huge JavaScript commands, it's creating a burden onto a browser. It's just like when you have the capacity to do 10 tasks and supposedly management gives you to do 15 tasks, that means they are creating more burden and more pressure onto you, right? The same thing is happening with Selenium RC. Clear? Clear everyone? Narendra, Snehal, Nichanand, Ankita, Preeti, Jaya, Joshit.
Yes.
Everyone is clear?
Yes.
Yeah.
One question, Rahul. Selenium RC, it
Mm-hmm.
injects Selenium core. So this Selenium core is automatically built, or I mean,
Yes, automatically built. There's a mediator called as Selenium RC, right? You see this mediator Selenium remote control server. This helps in mediating this process.
okay, it will automatically build Selenium core and inject into the
Mm.
browser.
Inject into the browser.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is what happens with Selenium core. This is all about Selenium core. Now the next architecture that we have is Selenium WebDriver. So Selenium WebDriver, it has been invented in the year 2010 to cover all the drawbacks that has been present in Selenium RC. Here the communication happens with the help of HTTP requests and responses. Instead of using the JavaScript command in the previous version to execute the automation script, here communication happens with the help of HTTP request and response. That means what? Whatever the code you have written, I'm talking about the Selenium 3 architecture at first, then I will be telling you what is the Selenium 4 architecture. So what is happening here? Whatever the code we have written here, with this code will be sent to the JSON wire protocol. What does this JSON wire protocol do? It will be converting the okay. Due to some issues, what is happening is that due to some issues, JSON wire protocol, sorry, my bad. So whatever the code we have written here will be converted into the JSON wire protocol. What does it do? It helps in converting the code into some HTTP requests and response. So all the HTTP requests and response are sent to the browser driver. This browser driver will interact with the real browser. That means what? So for a Chrome browser, we have a separate Chrome driver.exe file. For Firefox driver, we have a separate Firefox driver.exe file. For every browser, we have a separate driver.exe file. So this driver.exe file will communicate with the browser. So all the HTTP requests are sent to the real browser and it will be help in capturing the response and sending back to the code. Clear? Clear so far? This is the architecture of Selenium 3. Okay? This is the architecture of Selenium 3. Here, the browser driver will interact with the real browser with the help of HTTP request and response, which makes the execution lightweight and quicker to execute. Clear? Clear so far?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, in Selenium 4 architecture, what is happening means there won't be any JSON wire protocol. Instead of JSON wire protocol, we have a W3C protocol. In Selenium 4, we do not have the concept of JSON wire protocol. From Selenium 4 onwards, it is falling under the group of W3C protocols. What do you mean by this W3C? When you say W3C means it is maintaining some standards. The Selenium 4 is maintaining some standards. It is stable across all the browsers. It is its data integrity is never lost. So there are some standards set by W3C. So the Selenium 4 is falling under this W3C standards. So that is why the JSON wire protocol concept is removed, and instead of JSON wire protocol, now we have a W3C protocol here. So what happens? The whole Selenium code, whatever is written, is directly sent to the browser driver, and within the browser driver only, the conversion of HTTP requests and response happens. Clear? In browser driver only, the conversion of code into the form of HTTP requests and responses will happen and sent to the real browser. Clear? Clear so far? Any doubts?
Rahul?
Hmm.
So only JSON wire protocol is replaced with W3C
W3C is
protocol,
the protocol. Yes, that is a major change.
and
Diagrammatically, it looks very
yeah, yeah, go ahead.
Diagrammatically, it looks very simple, but in reality, it's a very big change.
And rest of the things like browser drivers and
Hmm.
all, those
It
things
remains the
are
same. Those things remains the same. Clear so far?
Yes.
Yeah. So I want all of you to install and download all the softwares and get it installed and get it ready in your systems, so that from tomorrow onwards we'll be jumping into the coding part directly. We have just had a today's session was more on downloading and installation of softwares and quick installations. So for the people who have shared their numbers yesterday, it's okay. And for the people who have joined today, I just want your numbers, WhatsApp numbers, so that we would like to share these notes on a broadcast with all of you. For the people who have shared yesterday, it's totally cool. For the people who have joined today, I just want your phone numbers along with your name, so that we are creating a broadcast group to share this Word documents to all of you. For the people who have attending for the first time today, I just want all of your numbers. Okay. So is this clear, everyone?
Yes.
Yeah.
Rahul, in case there is any difficulty in downloading or installation, so can we post the query
Yeah. Yeah, you can
or
post the query in the group, or if you are feeling bit hesitant to post it in the group, you can ping me on my personal window. That's up to you.
okay?
Okay, that works great. Okay, I hope you guys can practice for now. Revise the concepts and get the setup ready, so that from tomorrow onwards we'll be directly jumping into the coding part. Okay,
Sure, sure.
thank you.
Sure. Thank
Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.